Today, we're going to talk about spirituality and mental health. In the past, mental health was just shunned upon as some disease a person has contracted somewhere or somehow, and in severe instances the person was killed. And as science evolved, people started understanding mental health issues, anxieties, depression. Now that spirituality is evolving into open-mindedness and actually tapping into the divine, answers are coming through, right? I have just discovered that mental health and spirituality are actually different sides of the same coin. So if you are not a spiritual being, your mental health is compromised. And if your mental health is compromised, you cannot tap into spirituality. Welcome back. I trust you guys are good. We're experiencing a cold front in these parts of the world. In the south, it is it the 20th? Yeah, it's the 20th of July today. It's July. It's supposed to be getting better, but woof, it's so cold. So welcome back. I welcome you all. Everybody who's a returning viewer, I welcome you all. I am Petsily Pumpkin, the beacon of light, the witness that the creator of the universe exists and loves us all. If you are a first viewer, welcome. I address controversial matters which people are extremely naive to address and talk about, but then I address them regardless. So if you do not resonate with my truth in this video, it's okay to just pass by. No hard feelings, no ill feelings, just pass by. It means that this video is not your truth. It means that you found your truth, or you are still to find your own truth. And if this video resonates with you, then good for you. Just take the baton. It means that I have given you the information. Take it and continue the race. Sit down and meditate with your higher self and find information that 100% resonates with your soul, with your path. I'm just here to give you a push towards the right direction. Otherwise, I'm not a guru nor a god, right? Okay, so today we're going to talk about spirituality and mental health, right? In the past, mental health was just shunned upon as some disease. Yeah, as some disease a person has contracted somewhere or somehow, and in severe instances, the person was killed, right? As time went on, scientists understood the concept of a brain, that the brain malfunctions in some ways or the other. They carried out scientific experiments proving that some of the brains are affected, leading to mental health disorders, right? And as science evolved, people started understanding mental health issues, anxieties, depressions, all those minor, I'm quoting it as minor, because they do not stop an individual from fully functioning, right? So now that spirituality is evolving into open-mindedness and actually tapping into the divine, answers are coming through, right? In the past, mental health and spirituality were just different occurrences, right? And we've just discovered most spiritual souls, I'll call it that, have just discovered that mental health, I have just discovered that mental health and spirituality are actually different sides of the same coin, right? You throw away this coin, you lose both spirituality and mental health. So if you are not a spiritual being, your mental health is compromised. And if your mental health is compromised, you cannot tap into spirituality, right? So let's get to it. In the past, as I've stated, that mental health was shunned upon and labeled as a demonic occurrence, right? And on the other hand, spirituality was confined by religion. It was just placed in the box by religion. It's either you do this or nothing. It's either you follow these principles or dogmas or you're out, right? Right now, people are evolving into understanding that no, actually the creator of the universe or God, source, whatever you call it, can be contacted by just me sitting here and purifying my heart, in quotes, purifying my heart, because our hearts are pure as they are. But there is a state whereby you just shed everything you know and everything you think you know, and just surrendering to the divine, right? Just surrendering to whatever energy brought you into this world, because we are in this world not because we decided to be like, you know what, let me just go into the world, right? There were lots of reactions and occurrences and processes that were in place that eventually located you to be the one to actually come and exist, right? Which means that your existence, our existence, isn't just by mere relations between our parents. Our parents may have had that kind of relation but wouldn't have conceived, right? The fact that it was a success and you were actually born into this world, you did not die in the womb or something, you were carried throughout the term and was actually born into the physical realm. A lot of reactions, a lot of processes in between took place, right? So spirituality isn't just a one size fits all. I always say this. So you cannot tell me that you will categorize yourself under a specific religion, follow those strict dogmas and principles, and come out sane. And you're not supposed to ask any questions. You're just supposed to either believe or you die. Like, I don't believe in that. I believe in this. No, you're wrong. But how am I wrong? Because it's something I resonate with. No, that's the devil talking. The devil doesn't really have power over a person who has purified their heart, right? I was addressing that part. So, our hearts are pure, yes, but then we carry a lot of energies, right? As I've said, that a lot of processes are in play to actually bring you forth into this physical realm. So sometimes, as we're being formulated and these processes taking place and fighting and all these the journey to from the spiritual realm to the physical realm, we attract negative energies. As we move along, we attract negative energies, and then we're born into this world carrying these traumas, these negative energies that have attached themselves to our auras, these curses and all these things, right? So I believe that spirituality is when you actually decide that, you know what, I'm actually connecting myself with source. Whatever decided that, you know what, let me locate this one to be the one to be born on this day, in this time, in this era, in this geographical area. There is a power behind that, right? Some people may say it's your higher self, which is you in the spiritual realm. Fine by me, whatever you decide to think was the reason behind you appearing in this time. Then that's the thing you're supposed to connect with. right? So I believe in source. Source is what created everything. It's what is the energy, it's the initial energy that evolved into everything that we see in this world, right? So when you sit down, I normally recommend meditating and praying. So when you sit down and do those exercises, you actually align yourself with this initial energy. And when you align yourself with this initial energy, anything negative or anything that contradicts with what is right, I'm quoting, I'm putting right in quotes because there's no concept of right and wrong in the spiritual. It's just, there's just a concept of having a clean heart and a loving soul, oneness, unity, love, light, peace, and harmony, right? So when you align yourself with this source energy or creator energy, you actually put yourself in a position whereby you're just emitting love, light, peace, and harmony without even trying, right? So when your heart is in that form of alignment, no negative energy or negative entity or anything that is considered to be evil, unwanted, or negative in the spirit, none of that can attach itself to you. It may try, but it will never succeed. I guarantee you that, right? So when you are in alignment like that, it means that you have aligned yourself with the light side of spirituality, right? So, when we come to mental health now, crystals. Crystals are one of the rocks that were first formulated when the earth was formulated, right? So, these are the elements of the earth, the first thing that was created by the earth, right? So, anything on earth, anything created from the soil, anything created from the earth has this element thing called a crystal, right? So, this crystal in human beings is located in the brain, right? So, a crystal can be used to communicate with distant entities, like anything maybe in the universe and beyond, right? It has that high frequency to communicate or receive information from anywhere in the universe, right? It's like an antenna, like a satellite of some sort, which can absorb and relay information to and fro, right? So in our minds, there's this thing called a crystal. It is where source and other entities, because we're just not the only entities in on earth, right? There are a lot of activities going on. As I mentioned, that we can't see gamma rays, we can't see beta rays, we can't see x-rays, we can't see radio waves, we can't see any other things in the electromagnetic spectrum except for the UV light, right? So imagine what else is happening around us. So there are a lot of things trying to be in contact with us, trying to communicate with us, both on earth and in outer space, right? So this crystal is there for such purposes, for communication purposes. But then, as human beings, I always say this, we are too busy to pray and meditate for us to receive these information, right? There's information. So what happens is when you align yourself with source and on the good side of source, I say this, I mentioned this in one of my videos, that source is a neutral energy. It is then up to you how you use it. When you come to source with an evil or negative heart, anything you do will be negative, and it will be extremely powerful because you've involved source in it, right? You've involved the creator energy. And if you come to this source, the creator energy, with a good heart, anything you do will be blissful, love, light, peace, and harmony. And it will be so amazing and powerful because you've involved source, you've involved the creator energy, right? So when you align yourself with this creator energy, you can do anything beyond your wildest dreams, right? Depending on which area of the spectrum you stand on, whether light or evil, right? So when you align yourself with the source on the light side, any other entity around you will not be able to get to you, right? Will not be able to attach themselves to your aura, because you are now standing firmly with the creator, the controller, if I can put it like that, the ruler of every other entities out there, the creator of these entities out there. So if you take your stance and announce that, okay, this is where I am, in your heartest, in your deepest of hearts, you know that this is where you stand with the creator energy. Any other thing that is outside of your boundaries or principles will never attach itself to your aura. So once you are there, any information or any experience you will get in outer space or on earth, any form of interaction, if you've chosen the light side, will be with the light entities. No evil has authority to come dance around your aura. Right. So, with that being said, mental health emanates when you're not in alignment with source, when you're still finding yourself. You're like, who am I, what am I? And the moment you're busy asking yourself that, a negative entity may come to you and be like, oh hi, I can show you the ropes. Right. So the moment you are interacting, you haven't replied, but the fact that a negative energy has been attracted around your aura, then you're like, what's happening? How am I feeling sick? Right? It's bringing confusion, because these things are vibrating extremely high, right? So imagine when your vibration is in sync with a negative entity, right? You are vibrating so high but at a low frequency. I don't know if it makes sense, right? The vibration is elevated because it is beyond your physical understanding and physical capabilities, right? Hence you are vibrating high, right? Higher than your capabilities. But then in the spiritual realm, your vibrational frequency is extremely low, because anything to do with negativity is considered low vibration, right? You feel depressed, you feel sad, you feel suppressed, oppressed, so much fear, so you're just lost and confused, right? Hence mental health disorders, right? Not unless you align yourself, you know yourself. There's a book I'm working on, Psychology 101. I feel like it will really help a lot of people, but then it helps us understand. You first understand yourself. Who am I? What do I like? What don't I like? You set your boundaries. You understand why you're here on earth. And then once you understand why you're here on earth, you get to understand your external environment. Why are trees here? Why are other things here? What is this used for and why? How do I interact with these things? And once you've understood that, then you move on to understanding the spiritual realm, right? What is my input, what is my purpose, right, in the spiritual realm? What do I interact with on this physical realm, so that I can be able to contact or protect myself against blah 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 blah, right? How do I communicate with this creator energy? How do I align myself with this creator energy, right? So you have to know those things, but then we don't have time. We are too busy as human beings. We are chasing the wrong things. We're chasing after money. We're chasing after material things. We're too egocentric to sit down with ourselves, meditate, and activate this crystal to be in line and get messages from the creator energy. And once you do that, you will know exactly what you're here to do. You will know your purpose. You will know, you will have the spirit of discernment to know between negative and positive. And once you're in alignment with the source and you know that you're in the light side or the evil side, once you've taken your stance, then everything and anything will just shift towards your alignment, will just shift in line with whatever you've aligned with. So it's just that mental health is nothing but spirituality in the physical realm, right? So the mind is where all these activities that take place in the spiritual realm connect. It's a portal, right? Your mind is a portal between the physical realm and the spiritual realm. It's where all these divine entities connect with you. So imagine if you haven't taken a stance, if you don't know where you stand in this life. So it means that everything and anything will just come and connect with you, introduces itself and try their luck with you. And imagine what you will go through, right? So mental health is really nothing but spirituality in the physical realm. That's why I always said that never go for therapy before you actually know where you stand spiritually, and never allow somebody who isn't in your path, in more or less your path, to help you with therapy, because you guys will clash. So I used to go for therapy at the beginning of my journey, and I used to make sure that this person understand that I'm in the step of my life and I'm taking this kind of path, right? So to make sure that this person doesn't impose his or her path or beliefs on me, right? And once that happens, you then tend to lose it again, right? Because if this person imposes their journey on you, you get lost because you're now taking their path and ignoring your path, right? So yeah, I was just here to clarify that mental health and spirituality are nothing but just the different sides of the same coin, right? You master your spirituality and your mental health will just align, right? You master your mental health and spirituality will just fall in line, right? So it's up to you which one you master first. But for me, I tried. I don't lie. I tried to master my mental health, but a lot. I believe that I am very, very much highly vibrating. So I think every time I try to understand myself, a lot of entities were trying to befriend themselves, acquaint themselves with me, hence causing a lot of confusion in my head, right? There were a lot of things trying to connect to me, right? So I was like, you know what? Okay, let me try the spiritual route first and letting the mental health align on its own. So once I was like, you know what? Let me just meditate and try to seek for the creator energy, then it will guide me into the correct path. It will guide me into my path. It was so easy. That route for me again, that route was the easiest one, because then the creator energy guided me towards my path, revealed my purpose, showed me the tasks and everything, right? It was then easier for me to maneuver this life thing, hence I'm making these videos now, right? And because you have aligned yourself with the creator in the light side of energy, and all these other entities have fallen off, right? It means that whatever decision you take or make in line with the light side, the holy side of the creator. So anything you will take, any decision you will make will be in line with the light side, the holy side of life, right? Meaning that these entities that we can't see with our naked eyes, that we can't feel with our sentient beings, will then be attracted in line with what we have chosen, right? According to God's instruction, according to the Creator's instruction. The Creator will then instruct these entities, which are now in your line of work, in your line of choice, right? To work with you, to help you, guide you towards your purpose, to help you, guide you through the journey. Anywho, I am the beacon of light, Element, signing out. Checkmate.